Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on Library or BitChute, the name of my channels on those two websites is Comic Freak. We're going to be talking about CEO, founder of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney. Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney says politics should be removed from game companies. As you can see, IGN and other games journalists' websites are going after Tim Sweeney because he talked about politics and gaming. They're misleading his words, and we're going to be looking at articles and tweets from people who are talking about this. Here are some tweets from Colin Moriarty. This headline is either clickbait of the highest order or intentionally misleading because that's not what he said at all. His message was rather obviously that games developers should have divorced themselves as entities from political issues, not the games themselves. We should embrace making games with the teams of politically diverse people who won't always agree with each other, management or the political climate, what he said. Game companies should make political games or games with political themes, what he didn't say. As you see, Colin Moriarty points out how they're misconstruing his words. Here's a statement from Tim Sweeney. A company is a group of people who get together to accomplish a mission that is larger than what any one person can do. And a company's mission is a holy thing to do it right. Epic's mission is to build great technology and great games, and we can't count on every employee at Epic. We can even demand every employee at Epic unite behind that mission, but every other matter we have to respect their personal opinion, and they may differ from management's or each other's or whatever. As you can see, Tim Sweeney did not say all games must be devoid of political content. Here's another tweet from Colin Moriarty. Via The Hollywood Reporter, here's what he actually said without all of the fuck's outrage and attempt to spin it into something else. This is arguably the least controversial thing you will ever read. And he's absolutely right, by the way. Sweeney ended his presentation by once again addressing the discourse in gaming. We should get the marketing departments out of politics, he said. We live in a world where your political affiliation determines what chicken restaurant you go to. There's no reason to drag diverse topics like that into gaming. We need to create a very clear separation between church and state employees, customers, and everyone else should be able to express themselves, said Sweeney. We as companies need to divorce ourselves from politics. Platforms should be neutral. And here's a tweet from Nesbot, criticizing Tim Sweeney. Epic Games company should divorce from politics. Android is a fake open system. iOS is worse. Respect gamers' rights and freedoms. But this is only part of it. We're going to be looking at a site called resetera.com, and they have quite a bad opinions on Tim Sweeney for what he's just said. So here we have a tweet from resetera.com, who are even angry about his comments about saying that game companies will move away from loot boxes eventually. I say that's a yes. Eventually it's going to get so hot that game companies will move around from the subject. But they're only throwing shade at that because they're angry at his comments about politics. See, his opinion is that game companies, they can have employees that are political or not political, but he's there to make money. And he and his employees have to work together and able to make that product. And here we have people who left comments attacking him as well. On resetera.com. There's a reason he's not called Tim Smarty. Gamer rights? Has he been reading our fuckpick too much, lol? Tim Sweeney is a fucking idiot. Some great language from these people on resetera.com, huh? Gamer rights? He loves to run his mouth, huh? We need more apolitical games like Metal Gear Solid. As you can see, if it's not them dropping F-bombs, it's them basically calling him an idiot. Real great people on that site, wouldn't you say? Here's an article on Tim Sweeney. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney condemns loot boxes, says game companies should divorce themselves from politics. So let's get into this article. Epic Games boss Tim Sweeney offered some stinging criticism of loot boxes and pay-to-win games during his keynote speech at this year's DICE Summit. As reported by Hollywood Reporter, Sweeney said that the industry needs to move away from a customer adversarial model if it wants to maintain the trust of its audience. We have to ask ourselves as an industry what we want to be when we grow up. Do we want to be like Las Vegas with slot machines, or do we want to be widely respected as creators of products that customers can trust? I think we all see more and more publishers move away from loot boxes, Sweeney said. We should be very reticent of creating an experience where the outcome can be influenced by spending money. Loot boxes can play on all the mechanics of gambling except for the ability to get money out in the end. The inability to cash out is what has prevented some jurisdictions from defining loot boxes as a form of gambling. The UK's Gambling Commission, for instance, said last year that because loot boxes rewards can be officially monetized, they're exempt from being classified as gambling, but the technical correctness of the definition is losing ground to relatively obvious common sense concerns, and calls for some form of regulation are growing. Sweeney was similarly critical of what he called the customer adversarial model. It's particularly common on social media platforms. We have businesses that profit by doing their customers harm, he said. Facebook and Google have been one of the leaders in this. They provided free services, then make you pay for their service, and loss of privacy and loss of freedom. Separate from the economic aspect of the business, Sweeney also touches on the growing politicization of discourse within the industry. He said that games have become as much a communication platform as an entertainment experience, which confers special responsibilities we'll have to take very seriously. Interestingly, while both games, content, and game makers and conversations about them have become more overtly political in recent years, Sweeney believes that the solution is to remove politics from the equation entirely. The world is really screwed up right now. Right now, our political orientations determine which fast food chicken restaurant you go to, and that's really dumb. He said, as quoted by IGN, there's no reason to drag diverse topics like that into gaming at all. Businesses should be neutral. Venues where employees and customers alike can hold their own views and not be judged by us for that, he said. Epic's mission is to build great technology and great games, and we can count on every employee at Epic. We can even demand every employee at Epic unite behind that mission. But every other matter we have to respect their personal opinions, and they may differ from management's or each other's or whatever. Sweeney said that the very best way for companies to avoid controversy around political censorship from foreign nations is for them to divorce themselves from politics. It strikes me as an impossible position to take if there's one thing the recent Blitzchung controversy clearly demonstrated. It's that a determined commitment to neutrality is itself a political position in favor of the status quo. Blizzard's move to silence political speech from its esports presentations was arguably the reason the company found itself enveloped in months of scandal. This is a bad statement. The thing with Blitzchung is that Blizzard should not have done anything. They should not have banned him. They should not have said anything. Because when they banned Blitzchung, they put a target on their back and everyone is attacking them for what they've done. They did take a political statement, and that says that they're on China's side. Here's the other article we're going to be looking at. Epic Games boss says all politics should be removed from game companies. We're only going to be looking at one thing in this article because it's pretty much the same thing as the article we just read. Although Blizzard's attempt to divorce themselves from politics by insisting that its punishment of Blitzchung was apolitical only further inflamed criticism of the company. The banning of Blitzchung was not a political move, and it most assuredly did not attempt to divorce Blizzard from politics. It was done because Blizzard didn't want the controversy that Blitzchung had basically brought to them by basically affiliating them with the Hong Kong protests. All the controversy and all the attacks that Blizzard was taking is basically because they were seen taking the side of a government that basically does disenfranchise its own people. Why we're talking about this is because, well, the articles that are basically talking about Tim Sweeney all make the same statements over and over again. Just like Jeremy from the Queer Arena said, they're basically just following a script. Maybe a few things are different, but it's basically the same, article over and over again. But either way, what happened with Blizzard was because they were seen taking the side of the Chinese government over their own customers, and that stirred up a Twitter storm online that people are still talking about because they hated what Blizzard had done. They hated seeing them basically go out and basically attack their own customers, and basically it just showed people that Blizzard was going to do anything they could to stay on China's good side. Now we have Tim Sweeney here, who just basically says that if you're going to be political, that's fine. But don't expect companies to basically be political themselves. They should be neutral. They should basically only be trying to get the customers to buy their products. They should be developing stuff that people would want to buy. Not basically getting down into this quagmire where you're basically all attacking each other. See, the game journalists see what Tim Sweeney said as an attack on themselves and their values because they think everything should be moving forward in a political point of view. While Tim Sweeney said that his game company is there to make money. So he has employees that are political or not political, but they have to work with each other and him in order to make this product, which is video games. And that's what they're there to do, and not affiliate themselves with politics. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. Then go over to Library and BitChute and subscribe to my channels there. They're both named Comic Freaks to make it easier to find. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And if you could you also please share this video? Share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good. Because YouTube is making it harder for people to be notified of my videos, it just makes it easier if you just share them. Now listen closely. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.